Hey everyone, and welcome back to UE 5.1. We're now going to make a Pokemon game, or a TemTem game, anything like that. Last episode we obviously looked at the inputs. That was kind of like a sub-episode, I like to think. This is like episode 1.5, if you like. We also fixed our camera into one position, and we now can move around the map the way we want to. Okay, so this episode is a little bit more of setting up things. Let's go into our... I'm going to do this in creatures. I did create this folder already. So I created this creature folders just so we can hold any information about our Pokemon. Today we're just going to set everything up in the way that I think it should be set up. I might be wrong, but we'll go for it. Okay. And see what happens. Now we need a character actor for our creatures because we do want them to move around the map with us. So we want one setup to walk around with us and things like that. So let's. Now I haven't got a name for the game, so let's just call it Creature Master BP, and we're going to call everything through here. All of our setup stuff is going to go through here, and then we should be able to duplicate it out and just set everything up how we want it to be set up. To get that though, we're going to need a couple of things. Now this episode is going to focus around pretty much structures and enumeration. So let's get a structure first. Now the structure is going to basically hold all of the information about our creatures. So things like the dex, the index number, the name, species, the typing, the description, its sprite information, its skeletal information. You know, no, skeletal information won't be actually. Skeletal information and an animation will be driven through the actual child BP of the creature master. But it'll hold information like its weight, its height, its moves. Probably hold evolution information as well. And possibly its level moves, but we'll do that differently, and stats will come under a different structure as well. But we'll come across that probably later on down the line. So let's open up our creature structure. Now, what is a structure? It's basically just a list of variables that we can call through time and time again to set basic information up. And then we'll use that within our code to easily grab things from different places. So now we've got our structure created, we can basically start amending some of these booleans. Now again, these might change down the line a little bit, but what we're going to do is we're going to just get the basic information down so we can identify each one, and we're going to name these booleans. So the first one's going to be name. No, it's not. It's going to be index. We'll call it index number. And we'll set that to an integer. The next one is going to be... Oh no, I didn't set it to an integer. There we go, integer. The next one's going to be of type name. It's going to be called name, sorry. And then it's going to be type name as well. There we go. Oh. You could set it to text as well, depending on what you're trying to accomplish with it. We're going to add a bunch more variables. It doesn't really matter what they are. We're going to have a species. Now you could set up the species differently, in the sense that you could have it as a different struct that you have like a list of, and you can call them out. But I think most of them are quite individual and unique anyway. Especially at this point, so I don't think it's really a matter. Now we want type 1, and you also want type 2 if it has a second typing. Those can both be name as well for now. Again, they might change. It might change how I set this up down the line, but for now, yeah, it should be okay. Description should be a text. It doesn't like changing first time around for some reason. There we go, text. And then we need to get some more kind of superficial stuff like weight, and we also need to get height. Those can both be of type name, I guess. Type name should be fine. It might change to a text, but name's fine. No, actually, I think it probably should be a text, actually, thinking about it. Just going over that in my brain. Should be not string, text. And that's most of the sort of superficial kind of Pokedex stuff, mainly, and just kind of all the usual bits and bobs that you kind of see within Pokemon games. The next couple of things we need a 2D image, or we might just be able to put an image, to be fair. Image, there we go. And this will be our sprite. So the sprite you normally see in menus. You don't normally see it anywhere else, but sprite is definitely going to be used for menu sort of stuff mainly. Or when they're in the inbox, for example, they use their sprites. The next thing we're going to want now, as I said, we'll drive the skeletal mesh and animation BP through each individual creature we create, so we don't have to worry about that. But the next thing we probably do want to do is move slot 1, add a variable, move slot 2, move slot 3, and move slot 4. We then probably want to get another variable. These also, sorry, shouldn't be image. They're probably going to be of type name, because we'll pull the name through to get the information of each individual move. So that should be that. It's a lot of name and text variables in this. We probably want to get current level being another good one, which will be type integer. And we probably also want to add in a max level, which as of the default will always be level 100. And we also probably want to get a evolution level. The reason for that is that whenever our current level hits that equals that evo level, we'll evolve it into the next species. And if you get to your final stage, you would just set that to nothing. You would set it to 0 or whatever, and it would never evolve. And that's kind of the main things we want, I guess. Now, the order's a bit rubbish and it could be better, but it really doesn't make much difference in the grand scheme of things for us. The other thing I want to get is a stats, maybe a level moves list, but we can do that separately. So let's just drag that into there for now. So we have our creature struct. Let's create another one called stats stat underscore we'll call it creature stat so we can keep a better creature stat underscore struct, like so. And we'll call this one, so these are mainly going to be integers, a lot of these. So this will drive our health as well. So with our stats we have a HP stat. I'm also going to put in a max HP stat. We need another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 variables. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have attack. Now it would be good practice to create maxes of these. Which I might just do, because in battle with some of the items, you affect these figures. So by that I mean, so health, when you get attacked, your health goes down, your health goes up if you use a potion. Attack, you can use certain moves to reduce and increase attack. So we'd probably want to add another 5 variables. So for example, when Caterpie uses string shot, the opponent's speed goes down. Or when someone uses tail whip, their defense goes down. So that's why we probably would want to have those in here, so we know at the end of the battle where to put our attack, defense, special attack, etc. And when we end a battle, we will just call this stat structure. Makes it nice and easy to just kind of centralize certain stuff. Now, yes, with every single Pokemon we create, or not Pokemon, Creaturemon, whatever you want to call them, we would have to increase and decrease these after every battle, after every time we visit a healing center, and all that sort of stuff. Every time we would have to amend these values so that they all go back to the max. Even if we increased our attack so it goes higher than the max attack, which can happen, you can do that. You can stack attack increases, etc. Every time you do that, you need to obviously increase it. Oh, same again when every time a creature levels up, these values tend to get 1 or 2 added to them randomly. That needs to also be done to the same thing. So that's our creature stat structure anyway done. We can now create these. We'll be able to create these within our creature as well. Same for the creature struct. The only other thing I need to work out is levels. So my thought process behind this is to have every creature learn around about 9 moves throughout its leveling up process. Now obviously there's TM moves that can be learned as well. That's a whole other kettle of fish I haven't quite worked out in my brain yet. But let's do another structure. We're going to do just TM move underscore struct. And this is going to consist of a few different things. Now, this is what I mean when I say this sort of stuff. People don't really realize the complexity of these sort of setups, in the sense that move, we're going to call this move name. But yeah, lots of different variables go into each individual thing, and then they interact in crazy ways that you would never really realize. Let's call this move type. We want move accuracy, and we want move power. We also want to know PP current and the PP max. So most of this again is going to be running integers through it. That's going to be type integer, that's going to be type integer, that's going to be name, and that's also probably going to be name. We can save that. There's probably a couple of other things I want to add in here, like maybe particle effects, so it'll spawn these particle effects and things like that. But that's down the road stuff for now. Then my thought process is to do a if I do a, where is it again? Oh god, I'm lost. Blueprint. We do another struct called level up underscore moves underscore struct. What we can then do is run this struct multiple times through this struct to get the different levels. One thing I probably want to add to this is level learned. Oh, I spelled that wrong. And the reason for this one would be that if it learns this move at a certain level, so I can then put it in here and set the level that put them in order and set the level that the creature should learn these moves. I can also create this to be a lot more diverse by adding in something for the TM side of things. So maybe if I put like a boolean that says it is a TM, then we can call this in an item that will then end up in your inventory that you can then select, and it'll ask you if it's a TM, and then it'll check the move type against the Pokemon, and then we'll do it that way. That's all later stuff for now. I'm not worried about getting TMs onto a creature. I'm just worried more about actually the creatures having moves in the first place and being able to learn new moves through leveling up. So for this, all we need to do now is call that struct. So we'll call this level 0. So it should be able to know this straight off the bat, and we'll get the structor. And let's just type it in. We want the TM move struct. And then we can go into here and open this level 0, and we can then set this information. What the move's name is, what the typing is, and all that sort of stuff. It's got all the information we need from that move. Now I'm already thinking about this, and I'm thinking there's probably a better way of learning this, but or dealing with this issue. But it's something we'll have to sort of do over trial and error. We'll call this level 0 and level 1, because if the thing starts at level 1, we can call it unlocked. That might be another boolean we need in there called unlock, but that way the move is already set up. Level 5, let's do like level 7. I did do a setup sheet, so I kind of have got an idea. To be honest, I don't even know if I want that. I should probably just put in move 1, move 2, and we'll do move 3 for now. Move 3. We're just trying to get this so you can just kind of see how this will all come together at the end. As from adding those in, all I need to do for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I did 9, so move 4. Let's just copy and paste the move. So we're going to drive a lot of this stuff through these structures, basically, to push information down the line of child actors, and we can set each Pokemon up individually. So we should be able to go through now and set up this move information. Now with all that set up, let's actually now get a creature open. So what do we need in our master? For now, we don't really need a lot. We just need to get a static mesh. No, we don't want a skeletal mesh. I might use static mesh for now, thinking about it, so I can put some representation cubes in there. So maybe if I undo that. Oh, there is a mesh in here. Oh, okay, we'll leave it as is then. I'm not going to mess around with it too much. Let's put in just Quinn for now, so we can see what she looks like. She'll probably be T-posing too, which is fine. I don't think we should put anything in here, actually, thinking about it. Oh, it's going to take ages now, isn't it? Set this up. Let's undo that. Because this is a massive EP, we don't actually want anything in here, is what I'm thinking. So we're going to need our first variable. We're going to call this creature struct. And the typing, you probably guessed it, is going to be the creature struct we just set up. And we're going to expose this variable so we can play around with it if we ever need to in the world. If we compile, we should now have that available here. Now we don't want to put anything in it yet, but we've got all of those variables we can now set up. The move slot 1, move slot 2, move slot 3, move slot 4 will get driven by this level up move struct for now. So we should have our first 2 moves set up automatically, and then when we hit a certain level, the first 4 will get set up. Once all 4 are set up, we'll have a boolean that gets ticked to say 4 moves, and then everything after that will get driven through probably menus to tell the character does he want to overwrite a move. If he does want to override a move, what move does he want to override, blah blah blah, so on and so forth. Then the next thing we want to do is get our creature stat. We'll call. Let's just rename these so they're a little bit easier to remember. We'll call this creature info. We'll call this rename this one creature stats. And again, if we compile, we now have our creature stats. And if we click on the creature itself, they should, in theory, be here, both of them together. We can open them both up, and we can take a look at what. Oh, I've put the same structure. That's why. Sorry, creature struct. No, wrong one. Oh my god, what's wrong with me? Creature stat struct. That's the one we want. And then compile. Click on this. And now we have all that information as well we can mess around with. And a lot of this is mainly just for menu stuff. A lot of this information will run around in the background. We're just setting this up so we can pull this information through on our menus for each creature. And then the next thing we want to do is we probably want to know our level up moves, and that one can be our level up move struct. Oh, so now if we compile, we have all 3 of those things we can now start setting up. Now the max level, as I said, was always going to be 100. So actually we can set that up to always be 100 for this creature, for every creature that we ever kind of push through. And what that means is if the creature gets to level 100, it will never go any higher, and it will never gain any extra new stats or anything like that. So we'll always be checking every time we level up and every time we increase our stats whether we've hit a level 100 already. So let's go back into our third person content. With all this set up, we can now right click, create child blueprint class. We'll call this our first creature, which is going to be 001 dash her badger, which is the first one I've ever kind of come up with. Now if we open up this her badger, I have got concept art. I'll show it at some point. I may put it in the Discord, so join the Discord. We can now set this to this person, right? This is our lovely her badger. Turn it around like that. We'll make it green. Have we got any green colors? We've got a god awful ultraviolet green. There you go. It's got green features. That's fine with me. Let's make the whole thing green. Why not? Green. Okay. And let's make this thing incredibly small. Half the size at least, right? And same thing, let's change the capsule size if I can. Oh, there you go. Compile. So there's our lovely little guy. And we've now got all of its stats we can amend in here to change this information, right? So this will be unique to this creature mon. I'm trying to say Pokemon, and I shouldn't say Pokemon because it's not Pokemon. But and then I've already written all this information out, so it's the grass badger. Typing for now is grass, and that can be nothing. It sets auto to none, fine. The description, I've already done all of this information, so bear with me. So, all I've put is for badger occasionally are spotted in people's gardens, tending to flowers. It normally goes into hiding when people approach it. The weight, I haven't done anything with the weight. I expected it to be like 5.5. So it's 5.5 foot. I haven't got a sprite for it at the moment at this point. The move slots will be and probably I already think of a way. I've already thought of a way to change this move slot name thing, but that's how I've set up for now. Current level. Now you can set its current level to be whatever you want it to be. Because it's a starter, I'm probably just going to set it to 5 for now. And its evolution level was set to be 16. I haven't thought of any of its stats or its moves that it should learn. But I think I've already thought of a way of changing this move slot information. Because if I set this to chart, where is it pulling this information from, right? So I need to set up a move database, I think, full of individual information and set them as... So they could almost be like actors, but not actors. I need to think of a way of doing that. That then you would set within the strut, wherever it's gone, this strut. You would set these as slots for those struts, and then do it that way. Kind of like setting up an item, but there's no physical item representation. I think that's going to probably be the better way of doing it. And then these would be almost kind of the equivalent of having item slots that you never see. And then you would just have a list of items. I'm putting quotation marks in the air. Items that you'd have set up that this person can earn. Again, quotations, earn these items, and then those items you would just fit into these slots. That's how I'm going to do it. I think I've just worked that out as we're doing this video. But for now, that's everything set up. And again, just to finish off, if I pull this creature out, he's very small. Let's see a height comparison. Yeah, that's about how big I'd want him to be to begin with. That's how it's gonna be. And again, in the world, if I drag it into the world, I can also see all that strut information wherever it is if I click on it properly. It's because I'm not in the details. There you go. If I go down to the details, I should be able to see all that information as well. So we can set that on the fly, but that's kind of roughly how I'd set everything up. I'm going to change the way moves and TMs work definitely down the line, but for now I'm just going to try and get everything set up and get this thing following me around. We're also going to get the world set up, and we're just going to start slowly chipping away at all the different rules and things we have to work out. But that's basically everything set up, and now we can basically go ahead and create a ton of Pokemon, have all the information in there for them, and kind of all of its stats and hopefully moves, but I need to change that up. So hopefully this has been somewhat helpful and shows you in how structs work. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. It's free to do, and you can always change your mind. Thank you so much, guys. Take care. Bye.